Hi everyone, welcome to Lineage Unsolved, where we explore the unknown of this dying game. Scrooms, the race that everyone knows of, responsible for boosting people to chaotic classes. It is known that the race has a leader, that being Prince Pinky of Scroomville. However, when asked to consider if there is a prince, there must be a king, correct? Well, today we aren't actually going to be covering the mystery of the Scroom King. That's another video. We're going to be looking at the blessing of the Scroom King. Initially, I had gotten this message from one of my friends off Discord. Immediately, I was intrigued, as the photo looked as if it was taken around a year ago, before Rogue updated its inventory GUI. I at first thought that it could be possible that it existed, as many interesting items such as Falara's blood existed back in that era as well. My first step too was, of course, to look in both the Rogue Lineage and Rogue Lineage information discords. I typed up Blessing of the Scroom King, but unfortunately came up with little results for the Rogue Lineage discord. I initially looked at the oldest results, May 28th, 2019, quite a while ago. It would be tough to figure things out if this picture was as old as that date. I had contacted the person who had first said anything about a Scroom King blessing, and unfortunately he could not recall where he saw it, as it had been over a year since he had. This put me at a brick wall, as the person who had first found anything about it doesn't really know anything at all. I then searched it up on the Rogue Lineage information discord, with actually 0 results. My next step was to maybe go ask the Rogue Lineage information owner. He pretty much said the same thing I thought he would say, possible dev item, and that he was unsure. With a lack of knowledge of where this photo came from, the next best step was to look at the image itself. When analyzing the photo, I tried to see if I could figure out a name, but it was difficult to see since the inventory was open. My next focus was to analyze the equipped key, that being the blessing. I went into an old game to see if the old inventory would compare to the screenshot. The size and the color looked to be the same, so nothing could be done about that either. It seemed the only strange thing about this photo was the Azo having 8 lives, but that was actually possible back then as well. When I was close to giving up hope, I looked at the character and actually noticed something odd. The item he was holding looked similar to an in-game item. Initially, it may have been hard to notice because of the light blue glow surrounding it, but looking closer at it shows that it is 100% similar to a glow scroom. When comparing the sparkles to the individual cubes of the blessing to the way it is being held, it is seen to be a 100% replica of a glow scroom. To test this out, I went to the glow scroom cave and got to the exact position as he did. The results clearly showcase everything, which, if you actually paid attention, was part of the thumbnail for this video. I had begun to come to a conclusion on what the answer to this mystery was. I went ahead and messed around a little bit in 3D Paint, and would you look at that, it looks like the exact same as the so-called Blessing of the Scroom King. I think it's clear to say that my final verdict is that this is a myth. Due to only having one screenshot of it and looking exactly like a glow scroom that's just a little bit edited, it is clear that this had never existed before. For the in-game name being Blessing of the Scroom King, it is possible that the guy who took this image actually used exploits to change the name of Glow Scroom to Blessing of the Scroom King, which would explain why the image looks to be a real in-game screenshot. It could also explain why he's covering his name. And if it truly did exist, it was most likely a quick 1-minute made dev item to mess around with people that never really got added into the game and was a joke. This notion is also supported by the fact that an OG player who knows quite a bit about Rogue Lineage back in the day quickly pointed out that it was faked when I brought it up to him. And if it truly did exist, there would be a lot more people talking about it in the Rogue Lineage Discord, as again, there are only 27 results for something that was supposed to be in the game for over a year now? However, you guys are free to come to your own conclusions. Anyway guys, that was another episode of Rogue Lineage Unsolved. I know you guys love this series. Subscribe if you want to see more, of course, and I'm going to keep making these because I have a lot of them. Maybe a deep dive coming soon. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.